Shane, and welcome to WildTheSecrecy.org. Earlier this month, we covered a story on the Schwab family. Topeka, Kansas took custody of their children over a year ago with allegations that they've claimed from the beginning were untrue. As we dug deeper into this story, it got worse than we actually imagined it ever would be. Turns out, children are being taken from their families by the thousands all across America. Children as young as 4 years old are being put in psychiatric wards. Children are being medicated. Children are being taken away from their families unconstitutionally, and it's happening at a rapid pace. Today we're here with the Schwab family, and they're going to give us a little more information on what they know, being they're currently in the situation firsthand.
My name's Raymond Schwab. This is my wife, Amelia.
Nice to meet you. And like I said, I'm Shane. I'll run Wild the Secrecy, and what we're seeing here looks to us like, the best way I could put it is a case of state kidnapping.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's gone on. We had some family squabble where some allegations were made against me and my wife that were untrue. The state, even after investigating the allegations, said they were unsubstantiated, but Kansas refuses to return our children, and in every hearing we've had, they violated our due process in some way, tried to force us to give up some constitutional right or protection, using our kids as pawns. And as we've been resisting this and our activism, we've met many, many families who are going through the same thing, and even worse. Some of them had seen their kids in 2 years. So it is a system of state-sponsored kidnapping.
How long has it been since the incident happened where they actually took your kids?
A year.
Yeah, April 27th was a year, so a little over a year.
A little over a year. Do y'all get to see your kids at all?
We do, not very often.
Yeah,
And sometimes they cancel our visits, and sometimes the kids are late and we don't get to see them for very long.
right now, they're not communicating with us. We were supposed to have a phone call on Wednesday. They never sent us the information of what number to call in or anything like that. So we were supposed to have a visit on Wednesday where we are going to drive back to Kansas, but apparently the U.S. Marshals served everybody that we sued, which was any caseworker, lawyer, the governor of Kansas, the head of DCF. They all got served, and so since it happened, they haven't even returned our calls or emails or anything. So we don't really even know what's going on at this point.
So basically y'all don't have any indication on when you might get your kids back at all.
Our next hearing to even see if it's moving towards integration still or it's terminated will be not until October.
6 months.
And then it's a reevaluation.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen with most families. They're lucky to get their kids back within 2 years.
How often do you normally see this? How common is this?
Very common.
Very common. Kansas admitted in the media that 95% of their cases, they took kids out of the home without substantiation of abuse. So 95 out of 100 children, there's no evidence of abuse or no substantiation of abuse, but they still took them from their parents.
Yeah, actually, right here, let's see, who was this? Jennifer Anna, a family attorney, who says that she sees around 5 similar cases a month, and her exact quote is in 95% of each case, she believes there was no reasonable danger to the children whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a national issue, and that seems to be the statistic across the board. Some states are worse than others, but Kansas is in the top 3.
And it definitely affects people with poverty.
Well, we've definitely noticed that through the first follow-up post that we posted on y'all's story, a lot of the comments that we have getting, or that we are getting back, are definitely talking about how bad Kansas is in this situation.
Yeah, we have families that contact us that have gag orders, so they can't be as vocal as we are, and their kids have been suffering even worse abuse than ours in the system. You know, some of them have been abused for 6 months in a psychiatric ward or something like that, and they force medicate these kids. It's really amazing how much they get away with just by gagging these families and not allowing people to speak truth of what's going on. It's really awful. And you know, I don't think people are paying close enough attention to what this system is doing. It's pretty much a secret court that hushes up everybody that destroys families. And to allow them to operate so unconstitutionally, you know, will affect everybody in the long run.
We definitely know the administration that we're under is pretty much walking all over the Constitution. So if it's at a federal level, you know it's at a state level.
It's been going on for a long time, even way before this administration. You know, some of these people have been involved since the 80s. The head of DCF in Kansas has been in the adoption business since like 1984. So she's been doing this a long time.
Where exactly are they Well, I mean, where are they putting the children? Where are they taking them to?
A lot of times they get moved around, we don't even know, but one of them is in a psychiatric unit, and then uh, one is with a family member, and then one is with people who instigated the kidnapping of our children.
But a lot of kids get placed outside of what's called a kinship placement. Ours haven't been moved out except one. But we've seen case after case where grandma doesn't get the kids, the aunt doesn't get the kids because they'll disqualify them for some reason because they have to actually place a child outside of the kinship structure to get the federal funding. So we've seen many families who the grandma is fighting to get the kids, and there's no reason why she shouldn't have them. Sometimes they even have power of attorney, but they're saying, no, you're disqualified. We have to put them in a foster home or a group home, or then they get victimized, and then they put them on medication for that victimization, and it's just an awful cycle that really needs to
And
be exposed.
medication is another reason that they get a bonus. Like Jane Boyd Williams, they have, I believe, nine children in state custody, and all of them are being force medicated, including their 4-year-old daughter, who's on 4 different medications, including like a benzodiazepines and
Yeah, they're giving
sleeping
this
pills, and
4-year-old Valium, pretty much. And those parents are gagged, but their name's Jamie and Floyd Williams. They're actually trying to adopt their children out, even though they haven't even tried to reintegrate the family. It's really
2 years they didn't get to see their children.
yeah, they're at like 27 months, and they just started seeing them. So it's definitely not just our family, just our situation made us very aware.
But it's not even for visitation. They only get to see like some psychological evaluation or something.
You know, they have to have a psychologist present whenever they're with their kids because their kids are so damaged from the trauma what the system does. And it's really important that people begin to investigate this in their own state, in their own counties, how they're operating, you know.
And what conclusion are they using to put the kids that they are in psychiatric wards?
Found that they really have to have a reason because they kind of create one. So like for our son got put in there because there was an instance getting fire.
Minor instances.
Yeah, he heated up a penny on a heater and then flicked it on the floor, and it like left a little burn mark in the whole floor.
And then another one, but then they took an instant that allegedly happened 2 years prior that they learned it from a relative. It wasn't anything that had been, it's been taken. They just added a third reason. They said, well, for 3 reasons we can institutionalize this child, so they did. They took something that he never even got in trouble for, that somebody said he did 2 years ago. So they'll just make stuff
and
up.
I believe that was retaliation a bit for refusing to put him on medication, because we had refused this whole time and told him that we would give him, send him natural stuff that helped him before when I used to see him. And
we found out they medicated him
They did it
anyways
anyway, even though we said
without
no.
our permission. And then when we found out, they tried to force us to put him back on the medication. We said no. And then they said, oh, he needs to go to a psychiatric hospital. He's been there for over a month and a half now. And we put a video up on Facebook where we caught the last visit. And he's saying in that video, I'm in hell. That place is a living hell.
And we have, I forgot what never mind.
It's okay. We're very tired. It's been a very long day. We just found out a friend, Mrs. Sharp, just had 9 of her children taken. She's the family who they were singing when we were in the Capitol. We also found out another person that came to the Capitol. U.S. Marshals just seized her baby from the hospital. And this sounds like science fiction, but it's actually happening. And so we've been dealing with this all day, and so we're probably about ready to cut this short.
Well, we definitely won't keep you much longer. We appreciate your time, and
Sure.
any new breaks, anything like that, you know how to get in touch with me. Don't ever hesitate to contact us. And once we get this up, I'll send y'all the link and let y'all know when it's up.
Okay. Thank you, guys, and I hope.
Thank you, and we definitely appreciate your time and well wishes, and we hope the best for you.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.